should go to like a foreign country and see if you like pick up the accent from over there. Because you're probably one of those people who pick it up pretty easily. So.
I mean, I went to Korea for like a month and a half.
I remember.
Yeah.
Cooper was the saddest boy of all time. I remember that. So.
Yeah, my dog was super sad. I actually FaceTimed my dog once.
Yeah, you needed to, because like he would come to the door, he'd greet me, he'd be really happy, and then he'd be like, "Oh, John's not with you." And he'd just go into your room and just lay down. I'm like, Cooper, I'm sorry.
Do you have any pets?
I do. I actually just recently got a cat. Her name's Coquito.
Coquito.
Yeah, Coquito is alive in this world for now. We'll see.
Oh,
I need to keep her alive. That's like step one, right?
That is step one. Congrats. That's good. Oh, what is she like?
She's a feral cat, so she's not very friendly. But we actually caught her in like early December, and I left her with a friend. And my friend is actually my prior roommate, and she's got a dog and 2 cats. So she got super socialized with them, and I kind of feel bad because I like took her away from them. So she's been like really sad recently because she's like looking for the male cat that my friend owns. Took care of her, so she cries for him every once in a while.
You think she'll get used to it, like being a house cat, or?
Yeah, she's used to it now. Like it's she just is not used to having like not other cats near her at this point, so she just like.
So wait, how long have you had her for?
I've had her for like 48 hours at this point because I need to take her when I go.
How did you find her? Like, what's the story behind that?
We were staying at a friend's house. That friend was also another roommate. And he went to go check the mail, and I got like a frantic phone call from him because like I was about to roll out and go home, and he was just like, no, Cody, you need to come over here right now. I'm like, all right, sure. And I walk over, there's just like this little tiny kitten, and he's just like, it's your favorite color, because she's like a super brindled, like looks like someone like she's a black cat and like someone like shat on her. She's like that color. So like awesome. And he was just like, you need to catch it. So we tried to corner this cat, and like she was probably maybe 6 weeks old at that point, so she was like tiny cat. And she tried to run away from us and jump onto a ledge, and she just smacked straight into it because she couldn't. She wasn't like old enough to be able to jump properly. And then she like took off running and ran into my friend because she's like a kitten and has no coordination. So that like started. I took off of work literally the next day because we were out catching kittens. There were 4 of them.
Oh wow.
Yes. So one friend has 2. One friend that's up north has 1, and I have the last one at this point.
If you could name one thing, what are you like most passionate about? Like, what can't you live without?
Can't live without at this point. Seeing I involuntarily do music at this point, it's probably that. It's a pretty easy answer, right? So.
You involuntarily do music? Like, what do you mean? Like, does someone just go, hey, Cody, let's jam? And then you're like, I gotta jam.
Fun fact, I hate jamming. So I genuinely hate jamming. Why? It's like when you're having, like when you make small talk with someone, it's gonna end. It feels like extended small talk to me. I like to take my time making things make sense, because you can build things into like other stuff, and I like building stuff. I like taking things that are very complicated and making them kind of like simple to digest, if that makes sense.
Like when you're writing music, are you focused more on like telling the story or conveying your emotions that you're feeling like at that state?
That's a complicated question. The answer is both, but then at the same time, like, I like to work things long term, so like your emotional state changes over time.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is as it changes, I kind of let things progress and evolve as I change as a person. So like maybe 6 months ago I interpreted X, Y, and Z a certain way, right? Then I get here and I'm just like, it'd be kind of sick if like this section did this, and then you just kind of work it until it does what you want it to do.
Yeah, like it's really, I find like it's very easy to create a melody.
Yes.
And just like chord progressions. It's getting from like section A to section B and making it like actually a cohesive song, rather than just making it like, here's some random shit, and just more random shit. It's like,
I have literally the inverse issue, because when I get like A and B, they exist, but then like my brain goes, oh, but you can do C, D, E, F, and G. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do C, we're gonna do F, and if I can come up with an H, we might tag it on the end. But like I'll have like all this stuff in between. I'm like, all right, back burner, pick and choose how we're gonna do this. Oh, this doesn't work, pull this out, try this section instead.
Yeah, like sometimes you can start like working on something and you think this is gonna be like the intro, but then you realize, nope, this is the climax, and then you just start like building off from there. For me, transitions are always like the end. like the last thing I need to like work on to like actually gel everything together.
Oh, see, the way I do that, I try and write a tag ending while I'm doing sections, because like you can transition with that. Because usually like you repeat twice. That second repeat, if you make a tag ending, when you need to come back to it, you can just use that, and the progression will flow the same way.
I need to try that.
Yeah, it's really awkward, but then like when you kind of get it down, it makes copy pasting and understanding all the stuff you got a little bit easier.
How do you tell a story through just an instrumental piece?
So much.
Yeah,
There's
please.
a lot of aspects to that, man. I don't know.
Tell me.
Just do things. I mean, I'll write like an A and B section. Usually if I'm writing something, if I don't have an A and B, then I'm not actually working on it, right? You need to have at least the bare minimum A and B. The way you manipulate your C section is kind of what begins your story, if that makes sense. Because your A and B, they're always going to volley back and forth from each other.
Okay.
That's just like how music works. But if your C is something else, then you got to be clever in getting back to A and B.
Perhaps like you can explain like arrangements or like certain keys convey certain type of emotions, and like certain like if you're playing something legato or playing something super staccato, like how does that play into painting your picture, your story without any words?
More important than literally anything else, I think phrasing is like right. Yeah, like you play wind, you understand me. Like that is like the backbone to everything. That's the way the breathing works. That's phrasing is key.
As someone who's never made music, what is phrasing?
Okay, so like, for example, when I ask you a question, how are you so sure I'm done asking you a question?
Because you stop and there's a question mark, I guess.
Right, so at the end of the phrase, something happens. It's the difference between me saying like, oh, I have a question, and oh, I have a question. Like, I have a dog. I have a dog. I have a dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all phrasing, right? You can say the same X
thing,
amount of notes, but yeah,
but
the
it
phrase,
means something else.
right.
Gotcha.
It's the
Okay.
same exact, like literally the exact same
Fascinating.
thing. So
Yeah.
that's why I think it's key, because if you kind of work it that way, you can kind of, for example, back with the A and B thing, with your tag ending, you can technically play it the exact same way, but if your phrase is slightly different, it conveys something different.
And like also like everything that's like happening like in the background. Like,
Yes.
Like in the transitions you can have like drums and reverse like crashes or whatever like swelling into the next section. But then the outro, you drop everything except for like let's say the guitar.
Yeah.
And you drop the sub bass and then you just have the bass.
Yep, it's exactly like that. You just gotta understand what auxiliary stuff you have to make things happen and understand how they affect the phrase. Just work around that too. So hopefully it kind of answers the
Yeah.
question. Okay,
Oh,
just
yeah,
making
yeah,
sure.
yeah, it does, it does. Thank you so much,
Alright.
yeah.
I love this so much. Thank you so much, Cody. This was beautiful.
Anytime.